I'm all cloudy now.
Oh, you're cloudy. You're all cloudy. We are back. Veronica and I are back, and we are very excitedly streaming over on Briana's channels as well. So I'm going to bring her in because she is here, everyone.
Yay!
Hi.
So excited.
There's so many people have watched your video, and so many people, even over on YouTube, I think they're all starting to join us here now, are like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This stuff,
I love it.
this woman, she's so clever.
I feel the same way. I love knit look stuff and crochet. So it gets me so excited whenever I'm designing to just be like, look what we can do.
I'm so excited.
And with just one hook and one live stitch, isn't it? That's the beauty of it. I'm like, when I watched your video, I was like totally glued to my screen. I'm like, right, I need to work this out. This is brilliant.
So when Veronica and I were putting the summit together, we were like chatting about like the different aspects we could include and blah, 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 blah. And literally we were like, okay, we should talk about knit look stitches. And we both went, Briana.
Briana.
And we were like, there's no one else that we're going to ask about that at all.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And to be honest with you, we even said, if Briana says no, then we're not doing it. We're not going to ask anyone else. We're not doing it.
Keep it out, everyone.
Well, I wouldn't say no.
So
I've been asked before a lot, quite often actually on social media when I posted something about a knit look stitch or a new thing, that why do I do that? Like, why would I try to do, like, crochet should be for crochet, knit should be for knit. So why would you do a mimic in crochet? And there's so many reasons why, though. I understand some people are saying, can we just please stick to crochet and stop trying to do what the knit people are doing? But my response to that is we're not exactly, because the fabric that we're creating in crochet that looks like a knit mimic is a fabric you cannot get in the knit industry. It is a completely different new type of fabric that isn't on the knit side, and it's for the crochet side. It's for us, not for the knitters. So while it does look like a mimic, if you were to make swatches side by side, their fabric density and everything about it will be different, which means it's just another advantage for the crochet side.
Yeah, because knitters can't make things look crocheted, can they? But we can make things look knit. We get the best of both, I reckon. I'm gonna go. We're live on your YouTube and everywhere, and people might not know what we're actually talking about. So I'm going to put this code here. We are hosting. I'm going to move our faces around. There we go. We are hosting a Crochet Garments with Confidence Summit. Veronica and I are co-hosting, and we're having amazing guests on. But obviously, Briana is one of. So if you haven't joined us yet, scan that code. And shall I put it in the chat as well?
Yeah, let's do it for the people that can scan.
Signed up.
They're watching.
This is the place that you need to go so that you can sign up for the whole shebang. She says, talk amongst yourselves while I find the link. Oh, I've got so many tabs open.
So yeah, this is the link that's got everything you need to know about the free version of the summit, all the links to all the lessons that we're showing you this weekend for free. And there is an option to upgrade to the all access pass. So if you just scroll down to the page, we're still offering it at the special summit weekend price that will increase at the end of the summit. Once the free summit is over, the price will go up. So if you're still hesitating, then don't because now is the time to grab it.
Oh, there's lovely comments here already. Chris is here saying Briana's designs always amaze me. Yes, same.
Absolutely.
Same. Like, you just push, like, not only with the stitches that you've come out with, the magical stitches, but like the color work as well.
Love color work.
Love color work, and I love color work in garments especially because I think it just lifts them to that next. If anyone's looking for the next level, because that's what we wanted to do with the summit, didn't we? We wanted to give something for everyone. So if you're not a beginner and you're looking for your next step, do some color work, I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah. Briana's your girl for the next step in crochet garments to take your game up.
Yes, she is. So if anyone has any questions from the video or anything in general that they want to ask Briana or any of us, there's someone saying, I love this course. Thank you for putting it together. It's our pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Shall we let Briana reveal her little treat that she's got for us? So maybe people can get on with that. Briana, take it away. Tell us what you've got for us.
Yeah, so since we're live and it's Saturday, which is super fun, and I appreciate everyone who is here, we are going to go ahead on this live and we're going to give away the Magical Stitches course. So if you can give us a comment, we'll be picking from the comments. You can just tell us what your favorite thing is to make. It doesn't have to be knit look. I'm talking anything, or even the weather where you're at. Just comment on this video. We're going to take one of those comments and we're going to pick a winner from the live today, because that's super fun. Why not, right? If you're here and you're here live, you might as well have some fun by commenting and letting us know a little bit about yourself, what you're working on, whatever comment you want to make. And we're just going to just grab one of those comments and you can get into the Magical Stitches course.
Yay! Oh, so excited.
Fantastic. Can I please comment? Does that count?
Type a comment. Log into your accounts and comment.
So, yeah.
And the thing too is, like, a lot of times when we talk about knit look stitches, I think people think like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do it. Like that's advanced, or, you know, way beyond where I'm currently at on my crochet journey. But I would definitely dispute that a little bit, because all you're doing is taking those beginner stitches that you have learned, and we're just working them in a little bit of a different way. And with the videos I have that support the patterns, you'll visually see what's going on. Plus, I'm always here for support. That I truly think that give it a go, give it a try. Why not? You don't have anything to lose. It's not like knitting where you're going to drop a stitch and ruin the whole thing. You can undo rows one row at a time and it's fine. It's not a scary thing. We can always frog back a little bit, but I would say go for it. I think that, especially, I don't know if you ladies ever experienced this, but the very first time I made a garment, I was like, oh, that's it? I was scared of that for that long. And then I made like my very first cardigan and I was like, why was I even like fretting that at all? It's not as challenging as you would think. If you're already making a bag, you can make a garment.
Yeah, I think for me, I had an epic fail with my first garment, because I had no idea what gauge was, I had no idea, and it was absolutely massive. But the actual making of it was really easy. Like the shaping and stuff didn't faze me at all. But then it was like 2 times too big, and then I didn't do anything for like 3 years, because I was like, well, I can't do that.
Well, that's why after watching this summit though, and getting all that you won't have to make Hannah's mistake. Yes. It's not as scary as it looks, for sure.
Oh, look! People are asking, have we got enough crochet garments to change into? I hope so. So for
you'll have to stay till the end to find out.
Yeah, we've changed every single live. We've put a new.
Oh, I love it. I would join you, but it is way too hot in Florida today.
No, we have the right temperature here for it.
That's it, yeah.
Lovely.
I've got a couple of questions here. So we know that, Briana, you're an amazing crochet designer as well as a knitwear designer. So you do both. So yes. I had a question. Obviously, you bring the knit look stitches into crochet. And I think this is from just crochet only. Is there any crochet technique, any crochet stitch, any crochet look that you wish you could bring into knitting? Is there something that's really unique for crocheters only?
So this year, I think I have struggled with, because I do like to do mimics sometimes. Yeah. When we're talking the crochet granny square, good luck getting that into knit. Like, as I've explored crochet granny squares, I am not finding hardly anything like that in knit. Like, if you're going to go look for a granny square style garment in knit, I to this day, if someone knows of one, let me know. I can't really find one. I've seen like knit blocks where they're just making a straight up square, you know, just knitting a square and then putting all those together. But in terms of working like from the center out, I don't think it really exists much. And if it does, it's very, very rare. I think I've seen 2 patterns that I found this year, because I was curious, like, oh, if I were to do something in crochet, can I take it to knit? And that's the one area I really don't think that it's as possible. It's also the fact that it takes so much longer. I know sometimes when people do the magical stitches or the color work with that split single crochet, they're like, wow, this takes a lot longer than, say, working a double crochet. But for me, I'm like, yeah, try knitting that, because it takes even longer. Just the nature of knit and the stitches and everything, it's like you're doing 2 to 3 rows per 1 row of crochet, and sometimes 4. there are certain patterns where you would have to do 4 rows in crochet to get, or in knit, to get the height of 1 row of doing a double crochet. So I think that's the difference. Not that I love knit, I love the look of it and the fabric that it makes, but and they have an insane amount of gorgeous stitches in knit. I love that I'm converting some of them to crochet that I really coveted over on the knit side. But I do find with crochet it's so much faster to achieve certain things, especially when you're talking about working in the round, starting from like the center out. So a lot of the things you see in knit, even socks, a lot of the socks are knit from top down. A lot of times in crochet, we really like, doesn't really matter for us. We could just, like, I don't think any of us really have a huge preference on that. If you look at how many knit patterns there are, an obscene amount of top down and not as many toe up. And the reason why is because we have the magic circle that works out just so lovely with a crochet hook. Like, it's so lovely. It is so nice. I think I do not take that magic circle for granted anymore. We're talking like hats or garments or anything like that. It's so nice to have that I appreciate it more now, because when I'm trying to convert things, it gets hard. It gets really hard.
Yeah, because I've seen a video before where somebody was knitting like a plain, I believe it's stockinette stitch, and then they wanted to make those really standout bobble stitches, and here comes a crochet hook, and they're making a crochet bobble underneath. I'm like, I see you.
Because it is way easier to grab a crochet hook and do it on a crochet hook than needles.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's too because I've made bobbles with needles before, and we don't have something to keep it on the needle like we do with a crochet. Like, you're just like pulling up yarn really easy, but if they just slide off, they go everywhere. I would grab a crochet. That's brilliant. I would grab a crochet hook to do that part too, I think, because it is sometimes more slippery, I guess you would say, and a little bit more fiddly. When you're talking needles. It's hard sometimes to pull those stitches up and not like lose them off that needle as you're grabbing the next one. It's so much easier with a crochet.
Yeah, to be honest, that's one of the things about knitting for me. It's like, I've knitted just a simple hat before and I dropped a stitch, and honestly, I'm like, I'm done. This is ruined. I ripped out the whole project. I was like, no, just give me crochet hook any time of the day.
I'm really good at picking up stitches when you drop them, but it depends on the design. If you're doing something super lacy, I have gotten amazing at placing a lifeline. That way, if you drop stitches, you have a lifeline in there and it can't go past, 5 rows, and you just undo 5 rows.
Yeah.
But we don't have that issue in crochet, and we can kind of, I feel like, experiment a bit, be a bit more bold and brave. For me, at least. I'm sure knitwear designers are super comfortable with what they do, doing it as much as they do, because I feel like I'm a part-time knit designer sometimes. It's more like I'm just going to do a mimic. Yeah. I do more crochet than I do knit. I do love knit. I love it for the craft. I think it's fun to know both. So I think if people want to learn how to knit, you should. It doesn't take away from crochet. It only adds. And then we find tricks to where, like you were saying, if you were knitting, grab a crochet hook to do the bobble. It's beautiful when they come together and they work nicely together. But there's just been so many knit stitches as I've been on the internet, especially with garments, where I'll see something and I'm like, oh my gosh, if only we could do that crochet. And I did not think there were certain stitches I really, really loved. I did not think it would ever be possible to convert them, because how? And there's still a few things I'm working on behind the scenes that, hey, it might take me 2 or 3 years. There's a couple more stitches I have bookmarked that I'm like, I want to know how to get these into crochet. May or may not happen, but I didn't think that this last year with the magical stitches, I didn't think that was achievable at one point. And I don't know why I keep coming back to it. I just do. I think a lot of my inspiration happens when I'm like, this may sound weird, but like when I'm in the shower, because it's quiet, no one's asking me to do a task.
I think so much better in the shower.
I do too. And I'm like, I find myself thinking through stitches, and I'm like, well, what if I just did it like? And then I'll hop out of the shower. I'm like, wet hair. I'll run to the office. I'll grab yarn. I'm like, maybe this will work this time.
Maybe you need to take a crochet hook and a ball of yarn into the shower.
We were saying earlier though, Briana, that like we feel like crochet is still evolving. It has evolved over the last decade. Like, who would have thought 10 years ago you'd be sitting talking at a summit about crochet garment patterns? Because like they existed, of course they did, but not in the same way that they currently do. I feel like we're really pushing the boundaries, and we want to bring everyone with us. That's the whole point of this.
Yes, I think it really drives me crazy when I see people comment online saying everything's already been done. Everyone's already like, everyone's just copying everyone. Everything's been done. All the stitches have always been around for hundreds of years. And I'm like, nope, nope, hard stop. Inventions never stop. I don't think crochet will ever stop evolving. I think there are things 10 years from now that we're going to be amazed at that exist that people figured out, and it will continue to evolve. And I think about what we had available 10 years ago and what I've seen in the last 10 years from some incredible, incredible designers that I'm like, that's amazing. I mean, mosaic crochet hasn't been around as long as crochet has been around. So someone came up with that method and that theory, and look what we can make from that. And I really do think there's going to be more and more things that come along. I'm here for it. I am excited to see what people do, what designers do. It's so exciting.
It is.
Absolutely.
And I want people to not be frightened of trying these new things. Don't.
Yeah.
Sitting in your comfort zone is great. It's absolutely great. And I do as well. I always have a blanket on the go that doesn't require any thinking. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll change colour every now and again, but that's all I can deal with. But we need to push ourselves, I think, to be better, to learn this craft, and you'll just be so much more fulfilled from it. You know, because for most of us, it isn't just, even if it is just something that you do for enjoyment, it's a hobby, but it's part of your life. So learn more.
And pushing those boundaries with yourself, I think there's something about possibly struggling a little bit, feeling a little bit insecure, feel like, just know that's how we all feel when we try something new. You're not alone in that. You might just feel like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. You're going to doubt yourself. But I really think, and part of you doing better, trying harder for me as a designer has also been, I have incorporated video tutorials more so in the last 4 years than I ever have. And that's me doing better, because if I'm wanting people to learn to do something, written instructions alone for me, especially when I'm doing a new concept, wasn't enough. And I really, really, really want people to try it. And how am I going to get them to try it without giving a visual? And that's really what pushed myself to say, it's not complicated, it's not hard, and I want to prove it to you.
Yeah, let me show
and that's where you can go see so many of those videos and see this in action. A lot of times on my site, before you buy the pattern, you can go see it in action on YouTube to be like, is this for me? And I'm trying to prove to you, like, yes, look, this is what we're going to do. It's not scary. This is the stitch. You can do this. And then it kind of takes out the mystery of it too, the wondering of like, can I? And pause, push, replay is the best thing ever invented. I use it all the time. So it's like you have an instructor next to you, but it's better than just an instructor where you have to like book a time to go to a yarn shop to sit down, and you only have so many minutes, and it's a little bit stressful. Like, what if you have questions later? And we're available online. So that's also evolved in our industry too. It's like you can reach the world through video now. So you don't need me to come to your, you don't have to come to a yarn shop to meet me in person. I mean, feel free to come on down to Florida.
I was going to say, when can I come again?
We totally have fun here in the sun, but you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Say you're a night owl, you can't sleep. Crochet is a great thing to turn to sometimes. It's really mentally healthy, and it's also healthy to push yourself to do a new stitch sometimes, because once you complete it, there's been studies shown that when you take a task and you complete it, so small snackable tasks, we feel more confident and we are more fulfilled in life. And I think for myself as a mom, there are so many tasks to do throughout the day that there's not really a reward on. Do you know what I mean? Like, you do the dishes, no one gives you a gold star. You don't really feel great. You're like, great, the dishes are done. That's nice. But when you complete something physical like this, I'm showing this, something physical, like I made these baby pants. This pattern will be coming out soon. Another knit look pattern that
so cute.
I have a nephew coming this summer, and I really want to make him something, and this is going to evolve into a romper. But when I did this the other night, I've kind of had a tough week. And when I designed this one, I was like, I made something physical. Look, I can feel it. I can squish it. It's amazingly squishy. And I feel proud of myself. Do I remember all the times I did the dishes? Did I give myself a gold star for that? No, usually it's like, well, now the floor needs to be mopped. And now I'm seeing that the dog needs to be brushed out, and it's something else. But with crochet, we have a physical reminder at the end that we did this, we accomplished it. And emotionally and mentally, it will help you feel better. Like, you will feel you have done something for yourself and you've accomplished a task. And that is so important, I think, especially for women, because we have a billion tasks going on sometimes, and this is for us.
Yeah.
Especially if you can wear your garment.
Definitely.
That's what it feels really
good. We're saying make stuff for yourself. Make something as a treat for you, definitely. But so my question to you, Briana, is what would you recommend if people are like, I've never tried a split single crochet before in my life, I don't know what you're chatting about, what project should I start with? Should I go for a garment to begin with, or is there something else I should try?
So what I think people should try first is actually, if you do go purchase this course that we're doing here, the Summit, there's a hat pattern in there. And this is kind of why I did something smaller, because when you are learning the split single crochet, it's really important, I feel like, to learn that particular stitch in a quicker project, and something more simple, that where we're not adding any color work yet, or we're not doing any magical stitches that are shifting. Very straightforward, gorgeous hat, simplistic in the round, and it's really going to help you nail that split single crochet, which I think is the most important aspect of these knit look. If you're using that stitch, it's just to get comfortable with that stitch, and it just takes a slight modification, a little bit of practice and tension. You know the stitch, you've done it in single crochet. We're just going to make a couple of adjustments, and then it's going to look really great.
And I figure as well with that hat, like, it comes in lots of sizes anyway, doesn't it? But if your gauge is slightly off, do you know what? It'll fit someone. Like,
right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to worry too much about your gauge. Just get the technique of the stitches right, maybe, to begin with, and then you can wear it. Yeah. Someone will wear it.
Well, I feel like there's always a baby that needs a hat. Your hospitals take donations. You probably know somebody eventually that is having a baby. It's so nice. It is really nice to have a newborn hat just sitting around, maybe like wrap it up real quick, because you never know, like when you come across a new neighbor, maybe they have a new baby. It's so kind to give a handmade piece. So if you want to practice and really get something done in a night, whip up a newborn hat with that pattern, and you'll really get the grasp of those stitches and some of the ribbing, and then I think you would feel confident to just do whatever after that.
Fantastic. So let's just quickly remind people that lovely Briana has offered one lucky winner that we're going to pick from the comments. She has offered the Magical Stitches course. So get in there, get in those comments, keep them coming. We're going to pick a winner. And we have also got a special little code, don't we?
Yes.
We do. Yes. If you are really interested in magical stitches and you're like, you know what, I want to try this today, tomorrow, next year, whenever you want to do it, it'll be there for you. If you use the code SUMMIT this weekend, I'll probably run it through the week for you if you are watching this a little bit later. Use the code SUMMIT and it'll be 30% off that course. If you want to jump in and see what it's about.
Do it.
Do it. That's right.
All the comments, I'm trying to read at the same time as doing the thing. Caitlin is just saying, awesome giveaway, everyone enter.
That's right. There is loads of comments coming in complimenting lots of your designs. I've been trying to sneakily read some of them, and everybody, there was one, where did I just lose it? It says, you are magical.
Oh, that's so nice.
Check out that magical. You are magical. It's Pamela. Pamela's saying you are magical.
There we go.
That's so sweet.
That's so lovely. Oh, and someone's asked, we have to comment on Briana's video. You can comment on any video. We will see the comments all down the side here. I can see them all. So just comment wherever you are.
That's it. Wherever you're watching from, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, Facebook groups, just keep the comments coming, and we can see them all here mixed together, can't we?
Yeah. Lots of people are saying, I've already got this course, so good luck to the rest of you.
Oh, that's so nice.
Good for you. Oh, and there's people making your hat right now already. So, it's so lovely to know that so many people are trying all these different techniques, these new things.
It makes me so happy. I really just, I think sometimes when something makes you so happy, you just want to shove it on other people, you know? You just want to spread that joy. So I'm like, you have to do this. But I want you to do it and like love what you're doing, which is why we try so hard as designers. I know you two do as well, to be available. We have community groups. Like, so I think especially with the designers that are on this summit, it's all the designers that are really poised, and I guess, like, what's the word? We've been through it for a while. Polished. A lot of polished designers. We've got a lot of video content. We've got groups. We've got places. So there's a large safety net there for you, that if things start to feel like they're going wrong, like never feel ashamed or anything of posting in a group saying, what am I doing wrong? Because you're not alone. People usually been there. Usually at the time someone else answers a question before I can in community groups saying, oh, I did this. This is how I fixed it.
I love that.
So it's really nice to try to get people to try new things, just because we know how much we enjoy it. So we just want to share the joy. We just want to share the love of that.
Absolutely. So that's one of the reasons we put this summit together, because it's like we said with Hannah before, it's no point just churning out patterns if people haven't got the confidence to make them. So, this is why we're here. And this is why we've got the free option of the summit as well. Just to, just say, please just come and learn. It's not as hard as it seems. We're going to teach you everything you need to know to be able to crochet garments. So then when we do bring out the new pattern, then people are going to have the confidence that, right, I can make that. That's beautiful. I can make that. I'm going to make that. Pick up that crochet hook. And if you want to give the Knit Look Stitches a try, do so. Like we said, we've got amazing hat pattern from Briana inside the All Access Pass. But, Briana's got a beautiful website that she's got lots of resources on there and free patterns as well, if you just wanted to try it first. So, yeah, go and check her out. And, yeah, check out the Magical Stitches, because I think I'm going to after this. I'm going to unplug and go and check that out.
Every time you bring one up, I'm like, I want to in my brain figure it out myself. I set myself that challenge. I'm like, how has she done that?
Oh, do you know what? You bring it out on your tablet and you just go like, how?
Yeah, like 10.
Which way? It's like,
And the funny thing is once you see, I actually sent a photo of a stitch I did to a like this last year. I was like, look, I just cracked this. And she's like, did you just knit that? And I was like, no, I crocheted it. And then she just kept sending messages like, how? She's like, I have screenshotted this. I have zoomed in. I cannot figure out what you're doing. So I was like, well, I haven't written the pattern yet, but it's only like a 3-row repeat. Here, let me just text it to you really quick. She's like, I have to know. I cannot visually figure this out. And then I'd send it to her, and like within minutes, she sent back a swatch. And she's like, are you kidding me? That was so easy. And I was like, yeah. Like, I think our brains are just sometimes like we overthink things, and I'm like, yeah, it turns out that's easy to do. Who knew? But sometimes I had overthought it so many times, and then the solution ended up being simple.
Don't you think lots of crochet is like that? Is that
yes?
People are like really intimidated by so many different aspects of it. Like we just did the lesson on blocking and stuff, and people are like, I just don't block because I'm really scared of it. It looks really scary, and it's like, well, it's not. Once you know, everything's okay once you know how. And if you've got that like hand to hold.
Yeah, that's how I felt about blocking though. I will definitely raise my hand and say, like, forever, I was like, I don't know, what am I doing exactly? And I definitely overthought blocking. And it did look scary. I don't know, you were taking like mats and some pins, or you were, some people had steamers, and I was like, that looks terrifying. Like, why? it looks fine. And then finally, someone probably was like, no, you have to block that. Probably something that you have to block it. And I ended up doing it, and then I was like, wait, that's it? That's all I had. But I needed that hand holding because I didn't know. And then I was like, well, that makes so much sense. And now I felt like all of the crochet I'd done before hadn't been ironed, I'm like, well, it just looks like meshed up laundry in a laundry basket. They look so much better. And it's so simple. But I had to have hand holding. I will raise my hand on that one and be like, blocking at first seemed like this mystery, and it confused me. And then eventually when someone's like, no, it's not, this is all you're doing. And I was like, that's it? Okay. And once someone walks you through it, then you're confident in something. And then it feels silly that you weren't confident to begin with, but I wasn't. So
and I think you should never feel silly. You should never feel silly not knowing something. Like, it's not because you can't do it. It's just that you don't yet know it. And like that's, again, the whole point of this weekend is that
absolutely,
as much of us as we can, so that you do, because we don't know everything either, do we? Like even us three collectively, we don't know it all, and that's fine. That's okay. We're still learning too.
And that's with everything. You don't have to know everything. I think the best advice I got once was from a neurosurgeon, and I worked for his family, and I was in college and I was frustrated at this course where I hadn't done so well on a test. And he said not to sweat it, because just failing a test did not mean that as a whole you were failing at college, and that you don't have to know all the answers. You just have to know where to find them.
Yes.
And I thought that was really ingenious. Like, this is from someone who I was like, oh, this is one of the most intelligent human beings ever. He's a neurosurgeon. And even he was saying, you don't have to know all the answers. No one can know all the answers all the time. You just have to know where to find the answers.
Yeah.
And that is so true. And that's why we are putting together summits like this, is because this is where you can find the answers.
I was just going to say that. Absolutely.
That is why, I've just got one last thing on that. That is why doctors in their offices, you'll notice they have books behind them. They always have books, because they want to show you that they don't know everything. They want to show you that they will look it up and they have the resources to do it. Like, that's the thing they do. That's the thing they do. So this is us saying, we might not know the answers, but we can find them for you. Or we'll find them together.
I wish I would have had this like over a decade ago, when I was like really getting more into crochet. I would have loved to have a summit like this. It would have saved me so much time and grief. I love that we're doing it, but I look at stuff like this, I'm like, where was this when I was learning? Because that would have been amazing.
Oh, yeah. Right, we've run out of time, Briana. What's going on? Every time we've done this. So, how are we going to do this to pick a winner? Do you want to
Let's scroll? Who's scrolling? I'll say stop, and whoever we stop on. So scroll.
Yeah.
And stop.
Oh, who's this? Diane Plummer.
There we go.
All right.
So we've cheered her day up. If it's raining, you want some cheering.
Yeah. Oh, what a wonderful thing on a rainy day.
What a perfect time to crochet. Yeah. If it's raining outside,
Yes.
get in those magical stitches and start.
Yes. And if you can send me your information via, like, if you want to do it on Facebook or a private message or an email, I will get you into that course. Or you can also message Hannah or Veronica, and they'll forward it to you.
And we will get it sorted for you.
That's right. Yeah, we will get you connected.
Yes, definitely. So everyone needs to now. We're on a tight schedule, aren't we?
I know. Oh gosh.
Click your link, and go and find the next video, which is going to be about choosing the right yarn, which we've already had loads of questions about today.
Yeah, we've saved them all to answer later. Yeah.
We will answer them. So go and watch Raylan's video, which is a slightly shorter one. So as soon as that's done, we will then pop over and we'll be doing another live. But thank you so much, Briana. It's been absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Ladies.
Bye.